I do this every week. I'm having to get my microphone up. I'm having to balance it on different books.
Right. Okay.
So for this week, I've got the bottom base is a book for some coursework I was doing at work last year, and the book on top of it, which is a really thick book, is the Obama memoirs book that he released at Christmas.
All right. Okay.
Which I am still yet to read. But because it's like the length of a Harry Potter book, so one day I will read it. But I remember opening up randomly a chapter.
I think Harry Potter books long.
Oh yeah, the later books are like massive. As a kid, when you got these books, you were like, "How the hell am I reading that?"
Right.
So so it's massive. So, but one day I'll read it. But maybe I won't. I don't know. But I'm sure I opened up.
You were going to say something? Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I remember when I got it, I randomly opened up a page and read like a paragraph, and I'm sure it was talking about basically how Obama wasn't much of a big fan of Biden when he first brought him in as vice president, but obviously they got to know each other over time, and it was great. But I was a bit like, either I've misread that or that's a good bit of a surprise.
To be fair, even if they weren't friends, he'd still go for Biden over Trump. You'd still give all your support to Biden's electoral party compared to Trump's any day of the week. He could have slept with Michelle Obama and he'd have still voted and gone all for him instead of Trump. I'm sure of it.
Oh, yeah. Biden, let's be honest with you, Biden could do no wrong, to the point that it's nice watching the news, and when they turn to the American president, it's just normal.
Yeah.
It's nothing controversial.
Did you see his little trip up the stairs?
I did, yeah.
And now, obviously, all Trump supporters are on it like, oh, he can't hack it, he can't handle the situation, he's getting too old, he's just tripped up some stairs, calm down.
We've all done it.
We have all done it, yeah. Thankfully, not in front of the world press of one of the most exclusive planes in the world, but we have all done it.
And no one has probably made it into... Well, there's probably scenarios where somebody's done it and it's been made into a TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's just been auto-tuned and like a reverse has been put on it constantly, so you look like you're doing a dance. So I think so.
To the tune of Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Da.
Yeah. Oh, well, on that bombshell, on another TikTok bombshell, it's this week's ADQ. This is the podcast where we try and debate all the questions you never thought you needed answering. David Evans here at the helm once again. And joining me as always is... I mean, I've not thought of one this week, Mike. It's a travesty, isn't it?
Oh, David.
I've not thought one. I was hoping while I was setting it up, I was going to think one off the top of my head. It's going to be amazing. How about if we go with... I'm trying to think of... Probably, I used a Snyder Cut one last week, didn't I? So I can't do that this week. We've done Batman Superman. Would you prefer...
I'm the Liverpool to your Wolves.
I was going to say you're the dark side to my Steppenwolf.
Oh,
Would you go for that? Would you go for that?
The more evil of you.
But you're the bigger, badder guy to my...
Yeah.
I'm the minion. I'll just do all the jobs for you.
I mean, I think you're saying it with love, so I'll accept it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I am saying it with love. Don't worry. Okay, but yeah, Mike's here, everybody. How you doing, Mike?
I'm brilliant. How did you find the Zack Snyder cut?
Well, it wasn't shit, was it?
It wasn't shit at all.
I was worried that it was going to be shit again. I enjoyed it. Yeah. It was monumentally better than the Whedon one. Let's put that to bed. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think 4 hours was still a bit too long.
Do you? Okay.
I think there were some bits you could have easily took out.
There
I
was,
think.
yeah. I mean, I mean, one bit that sticks in my mind was, and I think they were all female. But when Aquaman went into the water, and they just start chanting and singing this hymn or whatever it is
Oh, that bit when she smells the
for
jumper.
about a minute, and I thought this could have easily been cut. Like I'm waiting for something to come back to that moment, but there was nothing. I'm not quite sure what that meant. But
Yeah,
besides, for me, there's absolutely no complaints whatsoever.
no, it was the jumper smelling bit I couldn't get.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
like
We
even if
don't want
she
to,
appeared behind the ship at a later scene, as if she was some sort of stalker, then yes,
yeah,
fine, it all ties in. But that I didn't get it.
I don't want to know your Aquaman fetishes in this film. To be
To be
honest with you.
fair, watch Jason Momoa as Aquaman once again has questioned whether The Rock and David Beckham are my top two now.
Oh, I do like Moa. What are you saying, Jason Momoa? Yeah,
I think it's Jason Momoa.
yeah.
I
But I,
think.
do, I think he's been really good as Aquaman. I like
Oh,
in the first one, which was terrible. One of the things that came out of it for me was I thought him
yeah,
and Wonder Woman were really good.
absolutely. You think before Justice League came out, you think of Aquaman and how like how much of the piss was taken out of Aquaman and the character.
Mm.
Like for example, Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
But then you've got him that plays it as this like proper beefed up tough guy, but with a bit of a kick ass attitude.
mm.
Just completely changes Aquaman as a character, and I think he did a brilliant job. If you're listening,
It's good.
Jason, well done, mate.
Well, yeah, Snyder Cut. We've been building up to it. Finally, we can say it wasn't shit. We're all relieved. More questions this week, of course. Any correspondence from last week, Mike, at all? Did anyone come in with
So
anything?
David, um, do you want an update on The Rock?
In life in general, or our quest to try and get him on this podcast?
For our quest to get him on this podcast.
I would like an update on his
Cool.
quest. Okay.
Well, as far as I'm aware, he still doesn't know anything about us. But
Oh, okay.
do you want an update on Pat Sharp?
Yes.
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 He's not got in touch either.
Oh, okay.
But David,
Okay.
do you remember hashtag Hobbs household hindrances?
I do remember the hashtag.
You do. At Richard Hobbs 6
Yeah.
has not got in touch. It's been a slow week, I'll be honest with you,
Oh.
David. But we do have one good old at Stu J4Z
Mm-hmm.
who's come in with his views on the washing up ball.
Okay. And his views are?
He has said, you can't have a civilized society without a washing up ball. Like the description said, rinse down the sides so the bits go in the sink so the water in the bowl is as clean as possible with no bits.
Okay. Well, you can't live in this civilized society then, can you?
I mean, I just think it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be wrong, and Stuart, feel free to tell us. But I don't know a household that hasn't got a big sink and a mini sink these days.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So just use the mini sink to rinse off.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. Let me know, Stuart. But
Yeah.
to my, I mean, I haven't thought about it until last week. But the houses that I have been in from last year, going back, obviously, I can't remember a household that hasn't got a big sink, a little sink.
Basically, we're asking Stu and anyone else listening to send us pictures of their sinks.
Of their sinks. Yeah. I'll show mine, David, if you show me yours.
Okay, so sink bit done. Anything else on correspondence?
No, that's it. That's all.
Well, people, look, we've told you. You can get in touch via the usual channels. It's quite easy to do. We're all in lockdown. Really, what else have you got to do in your life?
Also, I suppose we could go into one.
Okay.
Kind of. Just remember the email that we got about the bread rolls / cobs
Yes.
/ yams or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Basically, his inspiration was other more high profile podcasts that get similar emails, such as the one he sent us.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically, he's just saying that his intentions were good. He wanted to kind of up our caliber of podcasts to the standards set by bigger, more famous podcasts.
Mm.
And for that, I appreciate his efforts 100%.
Oh, that's very nice of him, isn't it?
But that's it. That's all we've had.
Okay. Well, Mike, just to remind people, they're listening. They're probably listening on their phones at home in lockdown, so they can easily access their phone as well as listening. How did they? Oh, he's moving the mic. How do they get in touch by the official channels?
Thank you, David. We have Instagram and Twitter at A Daft Question. We have a YouTube channel. Search for A Daft Question and pop a little comment under a video. We also have an email address, adaftquestion@gmail.com.
Lovely. You can get in touch, everybody. It's not. That's not desperation, by the way. That's just please, please get in touch.
Hashtag content.
Yeah. Okay. Correspondence done. Let's crack into it with the first question of the podcast. Michael, birthdays. We've talked about birthdays before on the podcast about when is the best and the worst birthday date-wise to have. But we're talking more this time about birthdays at work. Now, let's be honest with you. In a perfect world, no one, unless you're working for your dream job, no one really probably wants to go into work on their birthday. But obviously, there's scenarios where that has to happen. You have to go to work on your birthday. So this is a question that's bothered me in the working world so much. And I want to ask you and our audience, why is it your responsibility, i.e. the person whose birthday it is, to bring in cakes and sweets and biscuits for everybody else on your birthday?
I've never worked on my birthday, so I couldn't tell you.
Ah, okay, but you must have worked at where other people have got birthdays.
I was thinking this, and the reason I didn't kind of like veto it and say that I've never worked on my birthday or whatever, I've always managed to book it off, is because I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Because retail, that never happened when I was in retail. We might go for a drink afterwards, and then someone else buys me the drinks. But I can't remember a time if I was. Well, I didn't go for my birthday, but anybody else, certainly in retail, to my knowledge, ever brought in cakes for people. But then leaving retail into the office world, the problem I have got is that I wasn't in an office environment per se. I was managing the offices of the building. So I wasn't in that office environment. So that's never been a thing for me. Like, because I'm just like, it's the building that's me. It's not the office where you just 10 people in a congregate or whatever. So I've always had, either before or after my birthday, people, thankfully, give me a chocolate or a drink or whatever. And other people within my work, it's never been a thing for me. I've never experienced this, oh, it's my birthday, let's bring some cupcakes in. So, David, please enlighten me with how this works.
Well, most places I've worked, it seems to be the common conception or the common theme that if it's your birthday, you're in charge of bringing in an array of, small cakes or a cake itself or sweets and that to share with everybody else. But
makes no sense.
Well, it makes no sense because if it is your birthday, surely it is everybody else's responsibility to do that for you and the rest of the team. Why? It's like basically, it's almost like saying, in some ways, it's your birthday, so now buy all the presents for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, and if you went for drinks if you went, when we were in our younger teens, 18, 19, 20, whatever, and we went out to the club for our birthdays, it would be an unwritten rule that everyone would buy your drinks.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't be expected then to go buy everybody else's drink on your birthday. So I just don't get it. I don't know why there's been this office culture of you've now going to bring everything in, or like if it's your birthday the next day, someone will say, "Oh, don't forget the cakes tomorrow." Like, what? I shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing that.
Yeah, 100%. So you've obviously partaken of this and you brought cakes in on your birthday. I mean, I suppose it is a nice little reminder to be like, it's my birthday, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go for a drink afterwards. But when you have partaken in such a situation, where is your shop of choice for your cupcakes?
To be honest with you, it's whatever shop's nearest.
Fine, cool.
I'm not, cool. And I won't.
So
I won't be.
Really put some thought into this.
Yeah, I won't be going out and buying a massive cake and cutting it out. Just be like, right, is there a Tesco buy? Is there a Co-op buy? Random selection of cakes. Yeah, there you go, everyone. Enjoy.
And is it 5 packets of Mr. Kipling's, or are we thinking like you can get the four beefy muffins in like a plastic case for like £2? Do you know
I
which
think
ones I mean?
I think it probably depends on how many people are in your team
True.
or your office. So I think it's better to probably go for the smaller varieties like your Kiplings and stuff like that, or your smaller little brownies, so that it can then be shared out.
And does anybody get judged? I imagine if no one brings them, if it's your birthday and you don't bring them in, you get judged. But do you get judged, or do you feel you might get judged, or have you judged people that have brought in like cheap looking cakes, or it's literally like, here's a pack of penguins, help yourself?
Let's be honest, Mike. I think everybody does that. I'd be surprised if somebody
Yeah.
says, I'd be surprised if someone says, oh, no, I'm not bothered. It's the thought that counts. No. Everybody probably judges the quality of what you're bringing in. I
Do
would
you
think so.
have you ever had a particular person that you look forward to their birthday, knowing full well of
Ah,
the sort of cakes and biscuits and whatever that you're going to get? Is there like Sandra who bakes at the weekend and she brings in 3 cheesecakes, 3 different sponges, and an actual massive birthday cake for everyone to eat?
there's probably someone in the past, and I think there's someone on the tip of my tongue. I'm sure there is someone who you knew always, like in the year, would generally just make a cake and bring it in, and you'd be
Right.
like, oh, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. And then when you get around to the birthday, you're like, here we go.
Yeah.
The main event's coming. What we're going to have this time? I remember at work, previous work, and they decided in the team that they were going to do like a bake-off style competition. Everybody was going to make a cake. So I volunteered to go first, made the cake. Nice Victoria sponge cake, classic. Very proud of it, brought it in. Everybody was convinced that I just bought it from a shop. Even months later,
Okay.
to a point I was starting to wind me up going, I did actually make that cake. Did anybody else make a cake afterwards? No. It just stopped
Really?
there. Yeah, that annoyed him more going, hang on a sec. I put the effort in, everyone. So,
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't have taken you as much of a baker. I'd have thought if you turned up to my house with a cake, I'd have been convinced that you'd have bought it.
how dare you? How dare you? I mean, for you, would have bought it, yeah, because I'm not making. But no, I can dabble.
Do you? What
I
else can you make?
dabble. Look, Mike. You didn't expect me to throw out that so solid crew
No,
thing,
maybe I
did
don't
you?
know you at
So
all.
no.
Maybe we're not actually friends, and I know nothing about you. I've just been riding on these 3 years of university together. All I know about you is that you're a Wolves fan. You're
Yeah.
married with 2 kids. I don't even know what names.
I think
That's all I know about
your
you, David.
next your next birthday, I'll make a so solid crew cake. We'll do that, shall we?
Yes, you've said
Yes.
it now. You've said it now. I like chocolate. A so solid crew chocolate birthday cake.
Okay. It's a challenge.
Someone has made me a cake before for my birthday last year. To
Yeah.
be fair, and I wasn't expecting it. It was coming. It was the last week of my centre unfortunately closing and the company going bust. But my colleague had made me a very nice orange chocolate cheesecake with,
Ooh.
if I remember rightly, the Terry's chocolate orange Easter mini eggs,
Yeah.
them on top with the segments of Terry's chocolate orange on top as well. It was very
Ooh.
nice. It was very nice.
That's good. I do find that when you go to I think I mentioned there's a cafe right by mine that does that fancy bread, the sourdough bread.
Yep,
I think
we've
I
been for
mentioned.
breakfast.
Yes, and they sell cupcakes. And, they're very expensive, and sometimes you
Right,
think that is just a cupcake with half an Oreo on top.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really, I could have done that at home, but I will pay the extortionate amount because it does look good. You've sold me already.
We had a Lucid put Ivy down for a nap while I was feeding, and she's got a really bad shoulder. So I said, as a treat, I said, right, shall I get you a nice coffee from coffee over there? And do you want a cake? She went, yeah, go on then. So I
Mm.
went over and got her a latte and said, oh yeah, can I have one of these orange cakes, whatever it was. £3 for a slice. I was like, there's a co-op opposite you. I could have got 4 muffins for £2.50.
It's Brexit Britain, isn't it?
Tell me about it. Didsbury prices or what? That
Have you ever had a work? Okay, so we've been talking about not bringing in food for work, but have you had scenarios at work where it's been your birthday and the team of people you work with have clubbed together to buy you something?
Um,
And then have you had that same scenario of you get the present and you then rate how good that present is?
I don't. I don't know if they have. I mean, when it was my 30th, which you remember fondly, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
The people I worked for then, they obviously got me a present, but
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but I remember because I wasn't opening them until like the day after, I think, and they were like, "No, you've got to open it now. You've got to open it now. You've got to open it now." And I remember thinking, "Oh, this is really nice," and they were like, "Oh, we knew you'd like it. We knew you'd like it," but I forgot what it was. I have no idea. I remember, and I'm still in touch with them now, like, but I can't remember for the life of me remember what they got me. But I don't think I have because I've not been there. I just think, besides last year with the cake, I just think people have thought, no, sack him. Which I have always, I have felt in the past because I've been there for people's birthdays and they've had coffees and I've got you a McDonald's free lunch or whatever, or a present or whatever. And I remember thinking, like the day after or the day before my birthday, and I work it, and it comes to 6 o'clock or whatever, and I've got nothing. I'm like, this shouldn't be allowed. This,
Yeah.
like, I'd do it for you. I'd get you this, that, or whatever. But no, because I'm not in tomorrow, you've completely ignored me. I'd be lucky if I got a text, David.
Oh, poor you. Poor you.
But I don't. I think you've done flowers for people, or if it's a special one, you might have put in a
Yeah.
couple of quid or five or whatever. But not for me, David. No, what about you?
I remember once at work. Right, this is the thing, and I mentioned this on a podcast separately a few weeks ago. So I was invited back to do an episode on Wolves Fancast about building up Wolves Fancast a
Oh,
few years
really? Oh,
ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's on the archives. I think it's from about a month ago. It was just a
Oh, I'll
one-on-one interview, basically me talking about building up Wolves Fancast. Anyway, one of my pet peeves in life is I'm not a fan, really, of buying club merchandise.
Right. Okay then.
Right, I have only bought one Wolves shirt in the last 12 years.
Okay.
Just because I'm not I'm not a thing of like wearing a Wolves shirt all the time or anything like that. If there's a really nice Wolves shirt, I'll go buy. But otherwise, I'm not fussed. And therefore, at the same time, I'm not a big thing of having Wolves regalia everywhere, like Wolves mugs, Wolves hats, Wolves,
Okay.
things like that. It's just never been one for me. I think because it's stemmed from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I once decided to completely do over my bedroom with everything Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike not wearing his Liverpool top there, but yeah. So everything was Wolves. The wallpaper was Wolves. The duvets, the curtains.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember waking up one morning and there was this like orange glow in the room, and I was like, "Oh no, hang on a second, this is too much now." So I think ever since then, I've been like, I'm not like I'll have the odd little thing, but I don't want to be plastered with stuff.
Okay.
So when I was at a previous work and it was my birthday, we did this really good thing where everybody paid like £10 or £20 for the year, and then somebody used that pot of money to buy a present
Okay.
for
Yeah,
everyone
that's
else.
good.
So I thought it was quite a good idea. So they got me. So I opened it up, and it was a wool shirt. And in fairness, that year it was quite a nice wool shirt. So in my head, I was like, "Oh, actually, this is a really good present." But on the back, they'd got printed on the back "Fancast 1."
Okay then.
And I saw that, and I thought, "I'm never wearing this. I'm not walking out in the street. I'm not walking in a game with Fancast 1 on the back." So you have to do that
Really,
kind of.
David?
No, I would never ever walk around Molyneux with that on my back. Not in a million years.
Oh, I'd be all over that, mate. If I did
So
this very very successful, I mean, relatively compared to the size of Wolverhampton Wanderers, but if I did a very successful Liverpool Football Club podcast, and someone got me the Red Ginger or whatever the name of the podcast on my shirt, I'd be like, yeah, look at me, it's me.
I think part of it was because we done that. I did that affiliation with using pop culture and linking some Wolves things to wrestling at times, and therefore the Virgins tag came about. I could just imagine me walking
Right,
around
okay.
people going Virgin
Right,
and
okay.
things like that. So, but yeah, so I kind of did that thing of right. This is really nice, but I'm not. I'm going to keep a brave face. Oh yeah, guys, this is great, and then kind of getting home thinking I'll hang that up, but I don't think I'm going to be wearing it.
I actually, to be fair, I remember very, very similar incident. And it was a Liverpool shirt, but cringely, someone had got "Best Man" printed on the back of it with one. And I just remember opening it thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ever going to wear this. This is a bit cringe. This." And just to make it look like I really liked it, I wore it on the night, and there was a photograph of me. But I've not worn it since.
And you look so happy when you came on the dance floor wearing that as well.
I've still got it. I've still got it. Hang on. I'm sure I've still got it. Well, I have. I just don't know where it is.
He's going to try and prove here that he's still got this
Look.
best man's gift. There it is. Look at that, and it's worn a bit as well, which is nice.
It's definitely worn a bit, but I've still got it.
That's a good sign though that it's been worn a bit. If it was still fresh, if it was still fresh, there'd be a part of me that thinks, "Hang on." Okay, but anyway, yeah, we kind of diverged off a tangent then. But we're saying then, if it's your birthday at work, you should not be responsible for bringing.
No, well, that should not be a thing. And whoever started that needs hanging.
Bit extreme. Maybe you're telling off. Maybe a finger wag. Don't you do that again. Okay, that's the first question done. I think we're going to get into listener questions. Listener question times, everybody. Your chance to send in your questions, and we'll try and answer them as best as we can. And you can obviously give us your answers to other questions you hear on this section as well through the usual channels. Mike, I presume as we were slow on correspondence last week, we're slow on questions this week. Anything to note?
We've got one from the archives.
Well, if we need to go into that emergency archive, we will. What's in the archive?
So, thank you to the second of Tobias's at Tobias Hog 2. Mm-hmm. He asked us a question. To be fair, I just completely forgot about it. We didn't want to answer it. So he asked on the 12th of March, and it wasn't that long ago. You wake up one morning, you look outside your window, and you see that there's a zombie apocalypse taking place. What would be your step-by-step plan? E.g., where would you hide out, and who would you go to get, etc.
I think my natural instinct would be to just try and stay in the house and just board it up. Do you remember the film? What was that Will Smith film, which was quite similar? I
Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Doesn't he basically do that? He stays in his house all day, then he only comes out at night.
No.
He goes out in the day and stays in his house all night.
Yes.
So depending on if zombies are active 24/7 or just in kind of time during the time of the day, I think my natural instinct would be stay in the house and try and board it up, and just use what resources you've got in the house. And then if you're then desperate, you'd have to take as many weapons as you've got and raid the supermarkets.
So you wouldn't try and nip out for emergency food or drink supplies. It would just be board it up and stay here, and then if we die, we die.
Well, no, it would be board it up, and then once we have to get supplies, then talk it up and go down to the local supermarket that's been empty and fight off the zombies there.
Right. And how many zombies could you fight off, David?
Well, what zombies are they? Are they the slow ones that don't do anything? Or are they the really fast ones that terrify you?
I'm only thinking of the ones from Shaun of the Dead.
Well, those ones, you could probably easily just walk your way around them, couldn't you? It depends how many clusters. Well, no, it depends how many. If they're all clustered in one group and you're in a confined space, then you've got no chance. But if they're just David, the odd one walking around,
you walk out to your house. There's at least 12, 15 in the vicinity outside your house, and you've got to get past them to get to the shop.
I think if I've got, like Shaun of the Dead, a cricket bat, bat. Sorry,
Yeah, you'd have to have
and
some sort of
yeah,
weapon.
if I've got that and they are the same slow speed as Shaun the Dead, then I think I can manage myself quite easily.
Okay.
If they are World War Z type zombies where they run at 100 miles an hour, then no chance. Not even one. Not even a baby one.
Okay,
I'm
so
done.
no World War Z zombies, but Shaun of the Dead zombies. How many are we saying?
Are we saying line them up one by one, or like as in?
No, there's a group of them. There's just 12, 15 outside your house, and they've noticed that the door's open and you've slammed it or whatever, and they've clocked you, and then they're coming towards you.
Depending on the speed that they're coming at me, I think I could take on as many as I could. I don't think there's a limit.
Confidence, I
If
like it.
but if they're coming slow, then you should have enough time to whack your bat, knock one over, and go to the next one. If they start really converging on mass, then that's when you're going to have an issue. How about you? How many could you take on in that
To be
same
fair,
speed?
I think I'd be. I don't think I'd have much of a problem.
Hmm.
I don't know what weapon I'd use because we haven't got a cricket bat in the house. Um, I've got a
Spatula?
spatula.
Yeah.
I think we've got a metal shovel.
Yeah. That'd
I
work.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the,
or
the issue, the issue with a shovel probably would be over time, the weight of it, constantly picking up and whacking it, you'd
yeah.
start hurting your arm.
My
No
only other
different to a
option
cricket
would
bat.
be I've got one here, a glass lamp. So I could just take the lampshade off, turn it round, and then use the base of it to like.
That'd be good.
So probably I'd be fine.
How about a cheese grater? Cheese grater?
I'd be worried about getting too close and personal because I think because you'd have to be in the grill
Yeah.
to start grating.
Shaving their face.
I imagine they'd stink,
Yeah.
and that'd put me off whatever supplies I was getting from Tesco. But then they're also you're at arm's length, and they can also try and get you and therefore grab you, bite you, whatever you need to do. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of what zombies can do to you. But I don't know whether a cheese grater. We've just bought a rolling pin. That'd work.
That would work, actually. Yeah.
That would work. We've just got one of them because Lulu's now baking, which is great for me. But maybe the rolling pin might be the best one. Have you got a cricket bat?
I have, but I've realised it's like a small one. It's not it's in between like a child's one and a proper adult one. Okay. I think I got it on one of my mates' stag do's when we went to Newquay one year, so we could play on the beach. And it's never been used since. Right, we did get some other questions, but they're not on the official channels. But we will allow it this time because we're desperate. Let's be honest. This is from last week as well, from our good friend Lee Hasdell. If you had to choose a kitchen utensil that you had to go to war with, which would it be? No knives and forks allowed. So you're going to war with a kitchen utensil.
I'd get one of those barbecue prongs.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they've got a bit of length as well, so you can be like, ha ha, from a distance, and gouge their eyes out.
A bit of fencing. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the metal spatula because if you had two, you could be very ninja-like and just slap people in the face with it. I think that would work.
Well, let me know how that gets on in a war. I'll just slap your face.
I demand satisfaction, sir. Another one. Another one that
Did
wasn't.
You just make that sexual?
No.
Okay, just me then.
Have you never heard that phrase? I demand satisfaction.
Not unless it was out of the bedroom. No.
It is from The Simpsons, but
okay.
Someone will know. Someone will know this is. Anyway, I do have another one that's not on the official channels as well.
The amount of people that are going to text me kicking off because you're using questions that wasn't part of the official channels, and I've had mates that have literally. Even my brother last week sent me a question and went, give me an email. It's like, no. I'm going to get so many people pissed off because of this now, David.
I will leave it then. I will leave that other question then for another time.
Or
When
just say it was sent in an email.
yeah, I could have done that, couldn't I? But
Yeah.
moment's gone now. Anyway, that's listener questions this week. It's time to get on to surprise question. Time for surprise question. This is the part of the podcast where Michael and I will ask each other, or one of us will ask each other, a surprise question, completely off the cuff, no planning whatsoever. I believe this week it's my turn to return the favour, to return
Correct.
serve once again to Mike. Mike, I'm going to go for a classic here. Hopefully you'll get the reference. Michael, do you think there'll ever be a boy born that can swim faster than a shark?
What's
So
the
first he
reference?
does The Office. Do you ever watch The Office?
I watched odd episodes. I've never watched the American one.
Right, yeah, this is the British
and
one.
I've watched odd episodes of the British one. To be fair, the only series, and I've not watched the second one yet, but the only Ricky Gervais series that I've watched, week on week, is Afterlife.
I've never watched it. I've always
it's brilliant.
Catherine's watched a bit of it, but I keep meaning to.
It's got, and I'll tell you because it's great, but I don't think it'll ruin it for when you watch it. It's got one of the best jokes for me ever in a.
Is it by any chance the one at the school playground?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I'm seeing
that. That is good.
I pissed myself.
But yeah, anyway, will there ever be a boy born that can swim, or girl, of course, that can swim faster than a shark?
I mean, I'm going to say no, David.
You not think over years of genetic development while we evolve, we can't have a person that can swim faster than a shark?
I mean, we've been on this planet at least 2,000 years, and there's not been anyone that can run faster than a cheetah. So why do we think there's going to be a child that can swim faster than a shark? Unless the shark has only got one fin, then there's a chance that they might outbeat him.
And it's what the sharks are swimming in a circle instead. The kids just zoomed off.
No, David, I don't think they will.
Okay, so to flip that question, then, what animal do you think that you can easily outrun?
A snail?
What's the fastest? Okay, that's obvious. What's the fastest animal that you can easily outrun? We're not looking at cheetah level, but if I said a dog, but if a pig went at full throttle running, do you think you could outrun a pig?
Over a long distance, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I fear that over a short distance, they may just tip me.
Okay. A dog. A dog, surely.
A sausage dog, easily.
Yeah.
A Labrador. I mean, to be honest, my knowledge of dogs isn't the greatest. So you could tell me a name of a breed, and there's every chance I won't know what you're on about. In my head, sausage dog, Labrador, bulldog. That's all I know.
Okay. How about a hamster in a hamster ball?
No chance. Have you seen those little bastards? Those they run flipping heck. There's no way I could outrun a hamster.
Even looking at 100 meters dash, you just getting ready, set, go. You're not outrunning that hamster in a hamster ball.
David, I started lockdown with a dad bod. I've now got a granddad bod. That's the evolution of how unfit and how my belly has developed this year. There's no chance.
So we're saying that a pig over a long distance, you should be able to do that.
Oh, I'd smash a pig over a long distance.
And then
I'd like to think the pig would get tired before me.
Right, and then your prize for winning that race is to cook the pig and eat it as well.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'd have no emotional attachment to that pig. Sorry, Percy, but if the winner received the loser cooked in a sandwich, I would piss all over that pig because I would make sure not so much that I don't want to die, but because I'd want a proper fat bacon butty.
Okay. So we're saying then from that then, will there be a person that can be born that can swim faster than a shark? No. But can Mike outrun a pig? Absolutely. Okay, then that's the surprise question done. Let's get to the last question of the podcast. Barbecues, Mike. What a great British pastime. And we are, as we're in March as recording, we are now getting into spring, and we're perhaps getting into the type of weather where we can dust off the old barbecue and attempt our very poor barbecue skills. We want to make these fantastic concoctions, but we'll just end up making a burger or a sausage. But my question to you, Mike, is when is the appropriate first and last time in a calendar year to do a barbecue?
For me, my mic, hang on, there we go. For me, the moment you can start wearing a t-shirt, barbecue weather.
Okay.
It's sunny today, and I've been to a coffee shop with my t-shirt on. Bit of a wind, but I'd be more than. Do you need what's the problem about having a barbecue? Like, why does it have? Why as a society are there certain rules about when you can't have a barbecue? I think if you want a barbecue, bloody have a barbecue. But to be fair, and I'll do it as well, and I'm sure you'll do it, and everyone probably does it. Probably around about this time, let's just say Easter weekend's next weekend, and it's 11 degrees, 12 degrees, and you smell a barbecue.
Oh,
at least somebody would be like, bloody hell, let's make it most of this, aren't they? That's a bit early. Bloody hell, they'd have a barbecue no weathers. Yes, you should.
In fairness, when you smell that barbecue in someone else's house, you're like, oh, hang on a sec. That's a good smell.
Oh, it's the best smell. But there will be at least one person thinking, too soon, it's too soon.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it too soon? Are you eating? Is it in replace of your tea? Yes, it is. Then fine, just have it.
Would you have a barbecue in full snow?
If someone else was cooking it, yeah.
I remember somebody at a previous work saying it snowed that weekend. I was like, what have you done this weekend? Oh, we had a barbecue. Thinking they were joking. Not, no. Literally got the barbecue out. We just thought, why not? And they had a barbecue. Thought it was great.
I mean, to be fair, if we had, I don't know, some sort of tarpaulin or some little tent or whatever in the back, and people wanted a barbecue, fine, I'd have a barbecue.
Yeah. So, okay, so we're not putting it for a first one or a last one, really. We're not putting any kind of date on it.
No, but I think sensibly, the best kind of the moment you can start wearing t-shirts, I think, is a reasonable time to have a barbecue. Because then, if people are sticking around, if we have it tonight, let's just say from 6 o'clock, it's starting to go dark. That's not a bad time to start putting your hoodie on, sitting down, having some more beers or whatever. I think it's a reasonable time to start.
Is some of the ambience though of having I've got my words mixed up. Is some of the reason why having a barbecue is the ambience of the warm weather and being able to be outside and hang out with people. Whereas if you do a barbecue, let's say now, like you say, by 6, 7 o'clock, it's starting to get dark, and it's more, unless you've got some really good outside lights, you're more likely with the weather getting colder in the evening, you're just going to pop back inside anyway.
Right.
So therefore, it's like look, it's mid-March now. We are just probably on the cusp of being able to do it, but maybe after Easter time, when it's getting warmer, when the clocks have gone forward, so you've got that extra hour.
When is that? Do we know when that is? By the way,
as of recording, it's this weekend, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And is this the one where I lose sleep? I mean, it doesn't matter now. I've got Ivy, to be fair, but
yes, I think it goes forward an hour.
Right. Okay.
For the spring one, but yeah, but that's why I wonder whether a lot of it is to do with the kind of the socialising of a barbecue and being able to stay outside for it. And then on the flip side, then how about then the last barbecue? Then how far are you willing to push it in the year? Because I think I've got to about mid-September.
I would say September. Usually, I don't think people would have a problem if someone invited me to a last-minute barbecue in September. I'd be like, "Oh, what a good idea! Yeah, hey, have you heard this? Yeah."
Because you can get good weather in September as well.
I mean, to be fair, the September we had just gone. It was a cracking September.
Well, do you remember April last year when we just started lockdown and we had like a mini heat wave?
Yeah.
And that was perfect. I think I literally had our first barbecue in our old house in like early April.
Right.
So all
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
I think it's
And it's great in my house for barbecues because Mrs. E obviously is vegetarian, so and it's worse to try and have a veggie section and a meat section of the barbecue.
right.
So she can't be bothered, so she'll just
Is
cook
that for
something in the
is that
oven.
for contamination purposes?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh come on. But anyway, yeah. What was interesting? I found out a few years ago that rosé wine
Hmm.
has got bits of fish in it, or
Okay.
they filter the wine through fish guts or something like that. So my argument to Mrs. E was, well, you can't drink rosé wine then. But apparently that's allowed. That's allowed. You could no, she's allowed to have that because of reasons. I was like, oh,
Right.
right, okay then. But yeah, but also the kids aren't that fussed either. So I basically get the barbecue to myself.
Brilliant. That's awesome.
But also because like we've done with our challenges, because I get full up quite easily, I put this massive barbecue on, cook a couple of bits, and it's done. And I'm like, oh right, okay.
Do you enjoy cooking a barbecue? Doing a
Oh
barbecue?
yeah, I do. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the whole preparation of it. And I'm a
Yeah.
proper old school coal barbecue. None of this gas. It's got to be
Yeah. I
coal.
mean, I am dreaming of the day that we can get like a proper massive barbecue setup. Like you've got 5 different warming plates and whatever. You can put different food. You know when you go into a supermarket or Costco or whatever, you just see these massive dock off barbecue sets. You're
Yeah,
like, that's the dream right there. I can't wait for one day owning one of them and be like, right guys, click, click, click. Who's having a barbecue? And then just be like the master of this
yes,
area. But
yeah,
then what I also like about it is every barbecue. So would be, me and you would be doing the burgers, the sausages, kebabs, whatever. And I imagine, tell me if I'm wrong, Catherine and Lucy would be setting the table, doing up the salad, doing the potatoes, doing the other little bits from the kitchen, mainly leaving the party and going into the kitchen doing your own thing while you're there like, yeah, hey lads, you're all right, beer, beer, beer type thing.
yeah.
But you're the one that gets the credit for it.
So two things. Yes, on that. Secondly, you're really stereotyping the situation there.
I am 100%. But because you've already said that you do the barbecue,
Yeah.
and I would do the barbecue, I'm imagining, and then said, tell me if I'm wrong. I
Yeah,
imagine
no, I
because
get
you were
what you
doing the
mean. Yeah,
barbecue, Catherine would then do everything else.
yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
But
Yeah,
but unfortunately, and it's wrong. You and I would get praised. Oh, great barbecue! This great barbecue. Well done, Mike. Well done, David.
yeah,
And Catherine and Lucy are like, ahem.
yeah. That's true. I want one day, like you say, with the big barbecue. I want the confidence as well to have one of those barbecues where you can properly get like a joint of meat and slow roast it for ages. When you
Oh,
have to close the lid, check the temperature, open it, put like there's those videos where people base like a layer of their own sauce on, and then you
yeah, yeah,
close the
yeah.
lid again. Something like that. I'd highly recommend for you. And I watched it. It was like last August. Hopefully it's still on Netflix. There is a program that's basically a barbecue version of the Bake Off. It's
I
like
may have been informed of this before.
it's like the Great American Barbecue Cook Off or something.
Okay.
Same concept of the Bake Off, where you've got 10 people doing barbecue stuff, but some of the food they're doing on that is incredible, and some of the equipment they get to use. I'd highly recommend that. It's one of those things where you watch it and you need to be eating something to watch it
Right.
because you are going to be needing a McDonald's afterwards or something like that when you watch it.
See, and you tell me about this, and I'm probably going to watch this and be in awe of it or whatever. And all I can think back to a barbecue I went to years ago where someone had basically stuck their George Foreman grilling machine, whatever they call it, fat reducing grilling machine,
Yeah.
outside and called it a barbecue. And all I've thought about since you've been saying that, and it sounds amazing. I can't wait to look at the equipment, but all I'm thinking about is the disappointment of that barbecue and all it has. Oh, it's great, yeah. Look at all the juices running out. Oh yeah, it's great. There's so much healthy for you, Mike, as well. So much healthy for you. I don't want health when I come for a barbecue.
That's a
But
massive
yeah,
cop out.
it
That
was
is.
it was my uncle. He doesn't listen. It was my uncle years ago. It was a George Foreman fat reducing all singing grilling machine. You remember them? They were popular back.
Yeah.
Did you know apparently Hulk Hogan was meant to have that, but he chose to put his name on something else?
Oh, really?
Apparently, I read it somewhere that he got presented these two options and said you can either put your name towards this, and I can't remember what it was, or put your name towards this fat reducing grilling machine, and he chose the other thing. I think whenever you want, like, don't feel like you have to be judged. I mean, we all will, but don't just if you're happy, if you guys want to do it. I mean, it's nice now. I'd have no problem having a barbecue.
Mm, very much so. I want a barbecue tonight now.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's dust off that barbecue. Okay, so we're basically saying barbecue-wise, there isn't really a first or last time. It's just whenever you fancy
Yeah, like
doing it.
go against the norms. What is society? Just go against it. If
Yeah,
you're happy, that's the main thing.
good. Well, on that lovely bombshell from Mike, that's it for ADQ this week. Thank you very much for listening. You can get in touch via the usual channels. Once again, Mike, just remind people, how can people follow us and get in touch if they've got their own daft question?
Thank you, David. We have Instagram and Twitter. Just get in touch at a daft question. We have a YouTube channel, a daft question, and pop a little comment on the video, or even just send us an email, a daftquestion@gmail.com.
Lovely. Thanks very much for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with more daft questions as usual. But for this week, it's bye from Michael.
And it is bye from David.
It's bye from me. We'll see you next time.